In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build a rational function from a word problem. So let's take a look at our first example. So here's our problem. It says a 3D printer builds up layers of material to make 3D models. Each deposited layer bonds to the layer below it. A company decides to make small display models of engine components using a 3D printer. The printer costs $24,000. The material for each model costs $300. And the first question is going to be, write an equation that gives the average cost per model as a function of the number of models printed. We're first of all going to build ourselves a couple variables to model each of these pieces. So we're going to have C is going to be the average cost and M will be the number of models printed. Now remember that when we do anything of average, it's always going to be all the cost altogether divided by the total number of models that we have. So just like in your previous problems that you've worked on, when you're dealing with average, you add up all of the separate costs, in this case the cost of each model, and then you would divide by the number of models that you have altogether. So that's what the idea is here behind creating this function. So I'm going to go ahead and erase the part in orange, and we're going to use this idea to build our function. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to build this as C equals, because all of this, when we're done, should give us the average cost. So there's my fraction bar, and there is a way to denote the total cost for each model that I make. Up here in blue, and all the information that it gives us, the part that's really important is the last two sentences. The printer costs $24,000. So without us even building anything, we are automatically going to pay $24,000. So I'm going to write that down here. Okay. The next part says the material for each model costs $300. So what I'm going to do is every model that I sell, which in this case is going to be the variable M, I'm multiplying that by 300 bucks. So it's going to look like this, 300M and then plus 24,000. So for one model, if I were to sell it, I would plug in 1 for M, which would be 300. I'd add that to 24,000, and there's my cost to make just one model. So what we're going to do now is we have to divide this by the total number of models that we have. And in this case, it's just going to be the variable M. It's the number of models that we've printed. So this right here is our answer to this part of the question. That is how we build these functions. So let's take a look at one more to see just how to build a function. Okay, so here we go. Our next problem is going to be a TV service provider charges a $100 installation fee and a monthly fee of $78. Write an equation that gives the average cost per month as a function of the number of months of service. So once again, they do not give us variables, so we're going to set some up. So we can have C be the average cost again, and we can then do M as well for the number of months of service. Number of months, there we go. So once again, when I build my function, all of this when I'm done will be equal to the average cost per month. So it's going to be C equals. And there's my fraction bar because this is average. So the way that we're going to get the cost per 1 month is to, first of all, we're going to start off with this $100 up here in the first sentence. They charge us $100 installation fee right off the bat. So I'm going to have that 100 right out here at the end. And then the monthly fee is $78. So every month I have service, I get charged 78 bucks. So that would be 78M. So my numerator tells my reader exactly how much money I'm going to pay for that many months of service. What I'm then going to do is divide by the total number of months that I'm going to have this service for, so that I can see the average cost I'm paying every single month. So that's all we have to do. That is my equation for this rational function, and that's going to conclude this tutorial.